Hello, and welcome to A Friend Like Me podcast. I am your host, Ciara, and I started this podcast because everybody needs a friend like me. Today we have some special guests, my friends Cole and Malcolm.
What's happening?
So today's topic is going to be the level up is lonely. And before we get into that, I have my first segment. I usually do what I've noticed, but for having guests, I'm going to do a random question. So you guys, would you rather have a coworker that's always trying to snitch on you or a coworker that always vents to you about their life every single shift?
Definitely a coworker that vents for sure.
Okay.
Just because you out here snitching, you a grown ass individual snitching like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's as annoying as it is to hear somebody's problems all day. It's still better than somebody trying to get you in trouble for nothing.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, yeah, I'll take the venting.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough choice. Yeah.
That's a bad one, but okay.
For me, I'll take the venting too. People vent to me anyway, no matter what.
Right, that's the thing too.
So, yeah, and I've had a coworker snitch on me for nothing. I'm not saying you should do illegal things at your job. You shouldn't. But people try to tattletale to be like the boss's pet.
Right.
So, yeah, that's annoying. Someone snitched on me for doodling on a receipt paper. Yeah, and my manager actually came to me and was like, I heard you were sketching on a piece of paper. I'm like, are we in second grade? Like, what's going on? What's happening right now?
What is the consequences for...
Yeah.
Let's see.
Anywho, so let's get into the main topic. The level up is lonely. This is a topic I feel like I had to talk about with some guys because, for one, not gonna lie, black men are trashed on social media all the time.
I thought you were going to say, black men are trash.
No.
He walked into that one. He know how to respond. He was like, yeah.
Okay, alright.
I wish you would have said it louder. Oh my gosh, so Cole thought I was gonna say black men are trash. No, I'm saying on social media it's like a gender war about saying like black men are trash and they don't do this and that. So I wanted to, and I don't care if you call me a pick me, I don't care. I just wanted to bring on some of my friends that I feel like are doing great things. They leveled up in life in their different ways, and I wanted to show guys doing that. You know what I mean? So there's a certain process you have to go through to level up. So we're going to talk about that today. So I don't want to get into your business, Cole, but Cole made a big boy purchase this year. Do you want me to say it? Okay, Cole bought a house. These are big boy moves. And the thing is, Cole didn't say anything. He didn't put on Twitter, I'm about to close in on my house for sale sign. And I'm not saying people shouldn't do that, but it's like, bruh, handle your business. He literally texted me talking about, you want to come to my housewarming? I'm like, housewarming? You got a house? Like, out of nowhere. So, what was the process? Like, what sacrifices did you have to make to get that house?
What sacrifices? Yeah, just the sacrifices like we was talking about earlier with the investing and stuff like that. It's like you putting money, ridiculous amounts of money on dumbest stuff. So it's like cutting back on that stuff, prioritizing what's important, what you need versus what you want.
So what did you cut back on? So much. It's a lot.
Nah, just like the, extracurricular
Yeah,
stuff,
you don't gotta say
things like that. And I don't really go out much anyway, but just, you know what I mean?
But you know that adds up, even
Right,
if you do.
exactly.
One night, it could be $100.
Yeah, you know one thing, even just going to work, you buy lunch, breakfast, whatever, you know what I mean? So even stuff like that, like you don't need a Dunkin' Donuts every single day. Like,
Yeah.
You could bake a bagel or something at the house, like.
Just get up a little earlier.
Yeah, right. So it's just the little stuff, really. Like you don't gotta sacrifice your whole entire life, but just the small stuff. And like I said, deciding what you need, what's important, what you need versus what you want, really.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of us out there that like Starbucks.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta start buying it at the grocery store. They have the brand. You gotta get up 10 minutes earlier because that stuff adds up.
Right.
I love Starbucks.
You're not gonna get rich by not drinking the coffee every day, but
Yeah.
like you said, it adds up.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah, and that's something we could all do. Like, really look at your account and see what you're spending on. Little $3, $4, $10 there.
Too, yeah. Looking at your account, because me, I used to just swipe, not even paying attention to nothing, but actually seeing like, oh damn, okay, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, let me chill, yeah, right.
Yeah, Malcolm. What sacrifices did you make in your lifestyle? I'm not going to talk about what Malcolm's doing. Let's just say he has a great job, because he does. And he has another venture he's developing that I'm super proud of him for. And it's super unique, but we can't say what it is yet. But Malcolm sacrificed a lot. And what did you do to get that money to even invest in your venture?
Like you were saying, a lot of it is making sure just don't go out wasting money on weekends, cheap thrills. A lot of things I had to find different ways to even comfort myself. I used to do a lot of retail therapy, finding different ways to like meditate or read. Different ways just to even just spend my time. Pastime, going out drinking with the guys or something like that. That was kind of pastime. I'll study something now. More try to get better at the things, the venture I'm trying to go on. Try to even look up that topic a little bit more.
Research.
Yeah, kind of meet other people who do it, see what they can give me for knowledge, but like the comfort of not needing acceptance for it.
Wow, yeah.
The comfort of knowing like, all right, if this is what I want, if nobody else wants it or likes it, that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's probably the hardest part that I think most of us subconsciously want.
The validation.
Acceptance, that validation before we even push any further.
Yeah.
But I had to get to a point where I really started telling myself like, I have to understand that most people aren't going to care or like it.
Or help you.
Until I'm where it's bringing...
Where there's notoriety.
Right.
Yeah,
Until it means something.
Yeah.
And that's just the real reality of it. I have to understand that once I got that part in, it's making it a lot easier to get up each day, take one day at a time. Yeah. And just make those sacrifices. But yeah, that's really the first part. Like they always say, the first part is mental. Yeah. It's really the fight. People feel like they're fighting with other people, but it's more with yourself.
Yes. Ooh. Being your own worst enemy. We all lie to ourselves, but we're usually the only ones in our way. It doesn't matter what parents, what family you grew up in. It doesn't matter what town you're from. There's plenty of people that came from the slums that were slummier than you, and they made it. All you need is Wi-Fi. And to literally save money, like sacrificing going out or whatever, all this stuff you have to do, researching and, figuring out all the things you have to go through to buy a house. I think you need an attorney to do that, right?
Yes.
It's like,
what you think, for sure.
Yeah, it's not like, voila, sign the thing and it's over to me. There's a whole process. And to get through processes, you have to isolate yourself to learn it. And that's why a lot of people of color are behind, specifically Black and Hispanics, because we want to have fun. We want to go to the hookah bar. We want to go to the club. We want a section. Do you know how much money you could, like, if you didn't buy a section, if you put that in the stock market, what you could do with that, even if just one thing hits for you, or buying something and flipping it? There's so many ways to spend your money. $500, you can make that into, like, a whole entire business. This kid in Philly, he started a brand called SPERGO. He was like 12 and he used his birthday money. He bought a bunch of t-shirts. He kept selling them over and over. And now he has a deal with Daymond John, who founded FUBU. So it's like he didn't even have $500. And he was on Shark Tank and got a deal. And he's a Black kid, regular kid. Like, it's not like his parents had money. He retired his mom. But that's because he made the sacrifices. Do you think he was after school hanging on the block? No, he was like, what graphics, what name do I want to call it, all that. So you have to sacrifice being around your friends sometimes to level up because it's too many voices, you get distracted. What were you going to say?
Nah, that's a fact. I was just going to say about sacrifice. Sometimes you got to sacrifice your people as well. Not literally sacrifice your people, obviously. But just that time, like, I don't know what you got going, but like with your business, it's like you always want to put your mans on. You want to bring your people with you, but not everybody got that mindset.
Right.
You can't put everybody on because everybody don't want to be put on. You know what I mean?
That's even like the way I hearing that story. I'm just feeling like for a 12-year-old kid, like, let's be honest, I bet you how many of his friends that he told that he wanted to do that,
right.
How many friends, like, really agreed at 12 years old in Philly, like, that's a great idea, like, I want to be a part of that. He was definitely doing that by himself, you know, like, he was the only one who believed in that. That's the biggest part, too, like, a lot of people fake like they really believe in themselves, but internally they still have the issues, like, you have to honestly, truly believe it, you know, like, that kid obviously did, because I know for a fact there's nobody in Philly telling that 12-year-old boy, like, oh, these shirts are gonna help you get out of
Right.
here. Like,
No.
but if he believed it enough in himself that he made it happen regardless of any road bumps. So
Yeah. And I love that piece talking about your friends can't always come. And that's the problem also with our culture is like my day ones, my aces. Sometimes they don't grow with you.
Right.
And I'm sorry, it's not like you have to dub people, but sometimes you have to put distance because if you're not on the same type of time as me, you're going to slow me down. And it's not even being heartless or cold. It's do you want to level up or not?
And it's just growing up. Like, we 27, 28 years old. Like, at some point, you got to get off that old stuff.
The 21-year-old behavior.
Yeah, like,
It's going to carry into your 30s, and now you're trying to catch up in your 40s, and now that's even harder.
but that's just the part where I feel like even if because I even have some friends now who I feel like I'm never gonna be able to bring them on what I want to do.
Yeah.
But like even then, like I don't necessarily even like not deal with them, but it's like I feel like a real friend has to understand how we deal with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, at the end of the day, like when I find that time that I do want to go out, I'll call y'all.
Yeah.
But when I don't call y'all, besides that, don't be upset because I tried to let you be a part of my vision.
And you
wasn't feeling it, and I understand that. So I'm leaving you alone while I'm working on that vision. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't call me and be like, "Oh, we ain't chill." But like, I told you what I'm doing. You don't want to do that, so I'll call you when I'm doing something that you want to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like I feel like a lot of people have to understand. Like, being a good friend is first understanding your friend.
right.
Like, there's certain things I want to go do. I'm not going to call certain people to go do certain things
Right.
knowing that they don't like that already.
Yeah.
And they're still my friend.
Right.
Yeah.
When I do something that they like, I'll call them. But,
Exactly.
you have to, that's part of being a real friend, is
Yes.
understanding your friend. You know what I'm saying? So,
And I love that because we have to sometimes reposition, recategorize our friends. Sometimes they're your best friend, but now you're my best friend, but I can't be around you like I used to be. The time spent together has to change because my time has to be invested into me. Time is your biggest investment besides money. People waste their time and then wonder why they're in the same place the next year. How did you spend your time? It really goes with that because if you don't have the monetary resources, you can fix this first, level this up, and the money comes. People think it's like, oh, it's magic how people are rich. No, rich people do rich things. Wealthy people do wealthy things. They're not, the topics they talk about at the dinner table is not the stuff we talk about. They're not talking about celebrity gossip or the weather or sports for real. They're talking about, I just lost this money here, but I have an investment property here. I just bought land here. It doesn't even have to be that big. It's like the profit margins for whatever product I'm selling is intelligent conversations and conversations to expand and grow. And the thing is, even if you lose some friends when you level up, you'll get those right friends at the new places you go to. So you don't really take a loss. And if someone is weighing you down, it's not a loss in the first place because they're not going anywhere. I'm not going to crash and burn with you. Like the Titanic sinking, I'm out of here.
they say you should never be the smartest person in the room you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you are, that's a weakness for you.
Yeah. So what do you think is some steps to level up? And I'm going to say mine first real quick. Mine is being accountable with yourself and being real with yourself. If you're not real, you're never going to level up because you're like, I'm good the way I am. I don't care who you are. You can always get better. It's just not true. If you're stagnant, there's something in your life that you need to break the cycle on. What do you guys think? What do you have to do to level up?
Definitely, I agree with what you just said. Like, you got to be real with yourself. Like, you can't just keep, I don't know, be stuck on the same mindset. Like, you got to know when you messing up and want to correct that. But also just be willing to learn. You know what I mean? You got to be like water. Like, willing to learn whatever you're trying to achieve. You got to be willing to learn whatever you need to learn to get there. Right? Yeah. And don't ever stop. Where every day that should be a goal. Like, to learn something new today. Yes. About, and it don't even got to be about what you're striving for. Yeah. Just learn something new. Increase your knowledge. Like, always, every day.
I think discipline.
Yes.
Discipline's the biggest one. Is I saw something the other day that said discipline is more important than motivation. Yes. And I feel like that's fair. You could love it, but if you don't do the right things consistently and make sure you stick to that plan, it doesn't matter how much you care for it, it'll never come to. You know what I'm saying? So discipline is the biggest thing probably in our lives in general. Yes. Discipline has to happen first before anything comes next.
Yes, and I'm glad. I love what they both said because he talked about you can grow. It doesn't have to be about goals or but really your mentality, and he talked about discipline. We can talk about leveling up with your diet, leveling up with your routine, like why don't you get enough done in the day? You probably need to get up a little earlier. Or your body. People like to lie to themselves and act like they're okay with how they look. And I've seen different people start working out and there's a different glow. Just because the world says it's okay to look a certain way and accept it, you don't be afraid to level up. Like, y'all can look like that, but I want to look my best. Don't be afraid to look your best and be your best.
But the problem is, we all know all opinions.
Yeah.
And I hate that now that people are making other people's opinions that they don't know so important to them. Where it's like, your opinion should be most important to you. And it's like, I don't know, people are taking their own joy out of their lives just worried about what somebody else has to say about something they don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to tell me how to live my life when you couldn't even tell me my name. You know what I'm saying? So like, how do people validate that?
If you was in my shoes, you could never do what I'm doing. Like,
don't even know what's going on. To even try to like, so even like health wise, people trying to talk about people's bodies, but you don't know about their health situation either. Like, maybe their body is in a situation where something's going on that certain things just aren't okay for them to do. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, the fact that I know that's part of me growing up and leveling up now has just been letting that concept that the world kind of makes you care about now that's not really important.
Stop caring about it, because it's not important.
But it stresses us all out on a level that makes you stagnant, like he's saying.
Yeah.
Because you can't focus.
Yes.
You're worried about too many things that...
You have to quiet down the noise.
Yeah, and that's why I like, we say, like, going to get by myself and getting okay being alone. Because that's how I got the noise out. Yeah. I'm hearing too many voices. I don't even hear mine. I hear too many things trying to tell me what to do. So once I got by myself and really was able to, like, isolate myself and really get to a point where, like, I only hear me talking to me.
Yes.
Now I can really move forward. Because I know it's just me talking to myself now. Just like, all right, we want to do this. How are we going to get there? And I'm just talking to myself. Yes. Before, like, halftime, I want to do this, but something's telling me that I need these new kicks. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just all little stuff. And it adds up. It adds up.
Such a good point. And that makes me think of an analogy, because when you're on social media as well, like, it's not just physical friends, it's influences from everybody, strangers tweets that are telling you how you should live your life, ads, like all these clips from different podcasts even. Not mine though, I'm trying to help you. But literally, when there's so much noise, you don't even realize you're cloudy and you're not even moving the way you think you are. You think you're trying to do what you want to do in life, but you're low-key trying to copy somebody else you saw in another city. So please, like, tune out the people in your real life and on social media. And my analogy for this is, if you live somewhere that snows, you know what I'm talking about. If you try to drive in the snow, even if you have snow tires, you still got to drive really slow. You got to be careful that you don't veer off. But when you are literally in a truck that has a plow in front of it, you can drive normally. It's faster, it's more controlled, and it's a clearer path. So basically, like, if you don't quiet the noise around you and separate yourself, you're going to drive like this in the snow, really slow. You think you're moving, but you're actually swerving side to side. You don't even know what you're really doing. But when you have that plow, which is blocking off all the outside noise, then you get that smooth drive, even with the snow around you, because the snow is the distraction. But you have a plow now because you separated yourself. So please, I encourage you. I know everybody always wants to be lit and have fun, and it's not going to be fun when you're 40. It's not going to be fun. You don't want to be that guy, that unk at the bar with your nephews. You don't want to do that.
Right? The biggest part of that is, like, people don't understand, if you sacrifice a little bit of time now to really get together, you can live the way you really want to live for so much longer.
For the rest of your life.
So much longer than what you have to give up. So much longer than what you have to give up. You just have to give up a little bit of time now to really bug it out. And the reason why you have to do it now is just because, like, well, you got to do it while you're young. You got to do it while you're able. Because the older you get, the harder it gets to even just do what's necessary. So it's like, you got to do it now so that you want to be 40 and you want to be in a position where things are already making you money while you're sleeping. You're comfortable. So now on that day when you're 45 and you're having a rough day because you're getting older, it don't matter because you already have things lined up that's doing it for you. You know what I'm saying? That's when you really can live life. When you ain't feeling good, next thing you know, you hop on a plane, go to Puerto Rico or wherever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can take a break while things are still cooking at home. But if you're starting that at 40,
whew, it's never too late, but it is hard.
Yeah, it just makes it 10 times harder. Now you got to work so much harder when you're that much more tired. Yeah. You know, it's just like, why put yourself
through that
in the negative already?
Yeah,
you know?
Like, snap out of that. Like, life's not all about pleasure. That's the thing, and that's the thing, like you talked about with discipline. When you're disciplined, you're like, you know what, this isn't fun, but it's going to get me where I want to be. Do I want to do crunches? No. But do I want to pouch? No. So I'm going to do the crunches.
I think that's real. I think, if you ask me, that's real satisfaction. That's like, what people consider satisfaction in life right now, for the most part, isn't
instant.
It isn't, right. It isn't. When you really do get that discipline and you stick to something and you do those crunches for 3 months straight, and then you come back and see what happened, and it's like, that's real satisfaction, because you had to. That's what life's really about. It's about growing. You learned how to do something at a higher level than you ever did, and you reap the benefits of it. You know, it's
long game.
That's the so even the work. Sometimes stuff I'm trying to do now, when it's hard, it might stress me out to a point where I'm getting mad. But after I finally figured it out and stuff like that, that's real satisfaction to me, because I've actually, you know what I'm saying, I grew now. I figured out how to do this now at a higher level than I ever did. And it's helping me get to that next step.
Nobody can take the knowledge away.
No, you did it. That's what I was going to say. You did it. Ain't I had to push through. What's people's satisfaction now? Like getting a certain type, getting a chick or something.
Or a tattoo.
And that's simple satisfaction, because you can, like you said, go getting a girl or something like that. Somebody can take that away.
Yeah, literally.
That girl might be with another dude the next weekend, or you said, that kind of stuff. Those kind of little cheap thrills aren't. They don't hold any real weight. It's not satisfying. No, they don't hold any real weight.
And once you, that's why I want to encourage you guys, please go for something that requires you to level up, because once you get that first hit, that's better than all that other stuff you're running to. Once you get a goal that you've been working for a minute, that feeling you can't beat. That's what people search for in liquor, weed, and I'm not.
Say it's like a drug.
It's like a real drug, but it's a drug that's good for you. And I'm not judging if you do that. That's your life. I'm just saying, try to go after something that's positive, actually achieve it, and then keep going. It's literally a ripple effect. So to level up, it starts up here, mentally, also physically separating yourself, taking time away from social media and what other people think, because they don't know what they're talking about 95% of the time. And then actually go for that goal. Be disciplined to get it. It's not going to be easy. And then do it again. And then boom, your life leveled up financially, physically, mentally. And when you hear everybody else complaining, that used to be you. You're complaining about, I got bills to pay. But now you invested in stocks, and now bills are a breeze. You don't even think about stuff coming out your account automatically. So that's what we have to do as young people. Start now. 25, 22, 32, whatever. Start now. So your life will be easier later on. So that's the end of the podcast. Thank you, my two guests, for coming and sharing your wisdom. And I have my last segment, which I call a song to expand your attention span. And that song is Level Up by Ciara. Thank you for listening to my podcast, and enjoy the rest of your week.